Well, I'm a little bit disappointed in the games I lost, but like I said in many interviews, I wasn't too happy with the last season's results, so I'm really happy I managed to pull it off here. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't care really. It's CBC either way, so it's gonna be awful, but it is what it is. I mean, I've been playing pretty good the whole year. I've been saying that, but I still think I'm playing pretty good now as well.
How good does that feel, being able to take that first place?
I mean, it feels pretty good, obviously. Wasn't necessarily completely satisfied with everything, but good enough for sure. I'm going in pretty confident against both. I mean, I haven't really lost any maps in those two matchups in this tournament, so I guess both of them would be fine. Well, CVC is always a wild matchup,
and who better to talk about this with than the GOAT, the man himself. Serral is with us to talk about that incredibly nail-biting series that you just had against Clem. I see that cheeky smile. Joona, it's such a pleasure to speak with you. It honestly never feels like I'm really at a StarCraft tournament until I talk to you several times as you make your way to the grand finals. And of course, once again, you're there.
He had the best chance with that style, with the ping. I guess maybe he would have had even a better chance with mech, but I was a bit slow there, honestly, in my own opinion. Could have done a lot of things better, but luckily I managed to defend it somewhat nicely. And the two base move was kind of a wild card, but luckily it worked. Well, I wouldn't say so. I mean, playing against Rainer, I'm a bit salty about the lose. It would be nice to play, but I don't think that would give me the best chances. So,
is there anyone in particular that you're worried moving forward? I guess it's always kind of it's a similar question, right? As usual, but is it just Clem and Rainer, or is there anyone else?
Well, in all honesty, I don't think I'm absolutely not worried about anyone anymore.
Damn!
I got part of this question, so I need to change my answer a little bit there now. but I'm gonna backtrack a little bit here. I think all the players are good, so I'm really scared of a little bit of everyone, but obviously Rainer, Clem. But in general, CBC also, like I mentioned, that is a little bit lacking for me, and people like Elaser, obviously Rainer, like I mentioned already, and Lambo, if I meet him again, it's all gonna be really hard for me.
How do you, I guess I'll just ask the cliche question, how do you feel after that final, after performing so well?
I mean, it feels really good. I was expecting it to be a little bit closer as well, but I think after the couple first games, his mental was a bit broken, and the last two games were a little bit what they were. But obviously really happy with the win. That's what I have been looking for, and yeah, really satisfied.
Fantastic, fantastic. Ben?
Serral, I just want to say congratulations, well played. Like, you only dropped one map this tournament, which was in the group stage and in the bracket. You look phenomenal. You went through clean. I want to ask you about Beckett. Like, when you saw those Tempests arrive and like the Lightshade game with the weird charge lot all in without the Immortals, like, you talked about his mental being broken, but I feel like you're kind of responsible for doing that, Serral. You know, you're the only person to take down Trap this tournament.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I was the person who did that, but still doesn't change the fact that that was the case. And yeah, I was honestly, when it comes to the Chargeshot game and the Tempest game, I was really surprised with the Chargeshot game, because I was initially thinking it's like the old school has build where he does use a little pressure, because it was the first attack was really weak for some reason. So I got a little confused and even thrown a bit more there. And yeah, I mean, the Tempest is already smelled.
All right. How fast were those queens through the acceleration zone, Joona? They were pretty quick, eh?
I mean, they were pretty quick. I mean, they were pretty slow, actually.
Oh,
they're a bit too slow for my taste.
Oh,
but,
no.
Yeah.
I think they were good enough to gun down a Void Ray and Tempest. I think it's safe to say, Joona, that you're the best player in this tournament. You looked just so dominant in most of your series. But do you also think that maybe you got somewhat fortunate with the opponents you played, even though they were all incredibly good, that it kind of suits your style? Do you think it would have been a lot harder if you would have ran into that French kid, for instance, again in the quarterfinals or semifinals?
Yeah, I mean, it probably would have been a bit harder. I would have lost a couple of maps there for sure, at least. But I mean, I'm not going to say I would have lost. That would take all the taste away from the win, right?
No, of course. And I think the way you looked, I do absolutely believe that you were capable of taking down anyone in this tournament.
Well, I don't think it has changed my approach at all or how I feel the pressure, but obviously winning would be nicer than losing.
I think that's a
sage
very good
advice
point.
from one of the GOATs in the history of esports.
Well, to be honest, I would just change that. I wouldn't make the ultras there. I would go with hydrogen instead and some lurkers because, I mean, yeah, the ultras, I feel like sometimes they feel very nice, and that was obviously a relatively low echo game. There's a lot of counter-attacking with low drone count. I killed his CC like twice.
The other side, but you reposition the queens to the top left-hand side. So what gave it away then? Just the Hellions missing from the army?
Well, I mean, there was an overlord that saw the Medivac idling there. He was just
Really?
idling there for like 15 seconds, so I just sent the queens there.
I see. Well, I completely missed that. Still, an amazing series.
Joona, I have to say, this journey that you had through that winner's bracket was perhaps the most difficult way to do so. It was a 3-2 over Showtime, then it was a 3-2 over Rainer, and now a 3-2 over Clem. This was not an easy road at all.
Yeah, it's not. I'm slightly salty about all of these matches because we pro gamers have this system that there's always, well, I don't know if others have, but I have this system that I have always a couple of builds that are like free win builds. They're so good that they're actually gonna just give me a free win. And I lost 2 games to Rainer doing my free win build, and I lost 2 games to Clem doing my free win build. So I'm not too happy about that. But yeah, otherwise, I'm pretty happy.
It's absolutely amazing to see how well these youngsters are playing lately. Kev, and then any last words before we let Joona go?
Nothing from me. I look forward to watching you play again tomorrow. Great job today.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just
Have a good
well
night.
played again, mate.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Shout out to Soul for the practice.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Joona.
No, thank you.
Bye-bye, Serral.
I'm going to ask it's game related, but it was just an emotional question for you. And I know as a Finn, you're very in touch with your emotions, especially expressing them. Notice that when you had your natural blocked by a pylon, I find it interesting to say that you just came back from holiday, because when your natural was blocked by that pylon on Lightshade, it looked like you had died inside. You were like, you had your natural blocked 6,000 times in 2021 already. But only being back a week and a half and a guy blocks your natural and you're like, God.
Well, wait. I mean, I went for the pool first and then it got still blocked. I mean, obviously it can still got blocked, but the only bad thing there was that I already had 300 minerals and I wasn't able to plant down the hats. But yeah, I blamed that on the 150 ping I had on Central, because if I didn't have that ping, it would have went down 100%.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks for clarifying, because I just found it. I know now that you've told me you've come back for a week and a half, and it looked like you've been playing nonstop, and you just have your natural blocked like 6,000 times this year already, and you're just done with it. But that's good to know. It's good to know.
Okay, cool. I've got actually an non-game related question, Serral. I wonder if you'll indulge me for a moment. Wait a minute. Oh, shush, Maynard, shush. So obviously you go on a break, and then coming back, maybe it's a little bit rusty, but overall I can imagine that you think that the break is in general a good thing, because you're kind of keeping your mind on other things, and eventually you get back and then you're rejuvenated. What does a break look like for Serral? I guess you can't do too much golfing during the winter season, or what do you do on your break?
Well, I mean, it's not really a PC break, is it? But it's still a lot of PC, but there's no StarCraft 2 for me. And obviously I do other stuff as well, but I mean, I just mainly try to stay away from StarCraft and try to get back fresh when it's the time.
All right. Okay, cool. Well,
can we get a favorite game from over the break? Was there a game you played the most of?
Is it Tarkov?
I played Tarkov the most.
I knew it. I knew it.
Just because it got wiped during the
that's good.
In the
it's good time.
The menuing game.
We should squad up. It'll be great. We'll do a raid together sometime, Joona. It'll be great.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Serral.
I think that's totally fair. And now in the grand finals, you're going to be playing either Clem or Trap. And you've spoken a little bit about Clem already. Trap, interestingly enough, is another Korean player who you've had a great record against. In fact, you're undefeated against him. You've played him 8 separate times and 8 different matches, and you've won every single time. So I'm curious, you know, are you preferring him over Clem, or do you want the grand finals that I think a lot of people want to see with you going up against Clem once again?
I mean, I don't really have a preference there. I'm going in pretty confident against both. My CVT has been going pretty well this tournament already, so I can't say I'm comfortable in that matchup. And same for CVP. I mean, I haven't really lost any maps in those 2 matchups in this tournament, so I guess both of them would be fine. But I mean, it's gonna be hard either way. Trap's been very strong, and Clem's always gonna be a hard match.
Well, I appreciate your thoughts, Joona. Thank you very much. We will be seeing you in the grand finals later.
Yep. See you.
Bye. Thank you. Guys, I'm dying. He's like, no, I still lose to them. I'm like, Joona, I just told you you're 12-0 against these 3 Korean turns. But yes, of course, yeah, you've lost to them, but just not recently at all. And I also love that even though he says I'm confident against both, he reels it back. He's like, no, but they're both very hard opponents. He always ensures he shows his respect. I love it.
It definitely wasn't easy.
Yeah. Exactly. But just Joona being Joona, I imagine if it was Rainer in his position, he'd be like, the easy either way.
Any final shout-outs? You're now the champion. Feeling back on top, feeling good?
Shout out to all the fans for all the support and for all the time they spent watching the games. And yeah, just giving me support in Discord channels and stuff. It's really helpful. So that's pretty much it. I guess also thanks to all the sponsors and that kind of stuff. Even though that's kind of old school to call that stuff out. But anyways, thanks for all the fans for all the cheering, and really helps. Nothing else.
All right. Well, good luck in the upper bracket finals later this weekend. See you there.
Thank you.
Any final words before we let you go?
Not really. Thanks to all the fans for watching, and yeah, I hope to do better tomorrow and the day after, but we'll see how it goes.
All right. Looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Serral. Good luck in the roundabout.
Thank you.
Any final words, and we'll let you go and enjoy your victory.
Nothing really. Just thanks to all the fans for watching and cheering for me, and yeah, that's always really helpful.
Awesome. Well, Serral, congratulations once again. You're the DreamHack Masters Winter EU champion, and we'll hopefully see you next time.
Thank you.
And who better to talk about this with than the GOAT, the man himself. Serral is with us to talk about that incredibly nail-biting series that you just had against Clem. I see that cheeky smile. Joona, it's such a pleasure to speak with you. It honestly never feels like I'm really at a StarCraft tournament until I talk to you several times as you make your way to the grand finals. And of course, once again, you're there